Okay, a few updates to the redneck saw vise build here. Number one, the handle here, there's not enough thread. Move this over here. There's not enough thread here. Where in the heck is it? Yeah, right there. All right. This tube isn't thick enough. So what I got to do is, where the hell is the damn hole? Oh, there it is. What I got to do is just weld the nut over that. And then I can take this. Now I got a nut on there. I'll get purchase on it. Another thing I had to do was, believe it or not, if you're looking down, you know, this we can take. Well, let's take this out here. I'll show you. All right. Okay. So down in this hole, I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if I can get in there with this camera. Maybe you can see it down there. Probably not. Yeah, you can see it down there in the bottom just barely. There's a nut there, okay? And what that does is that holds this plate to this ball and socket. Well, what was happening is you're rotating it. The nut was loosening up. Yeah, you could go to the top and tighten it up, but it's just going to loosen up again. So the fix I did, the redneck fix, is I just took it apart there and I just put a little weld on there. You know, welded her up, and now she's nice and stiff. So, you know, it's hard to get everything perfect on the first shot, but you go back and you work on it. You know, so far we do these two fixes. We put the welding nut on here, and actually, I did the other fix here. I welded it. So we just have to fix this, really. Put the nut on there. Let me put the saw on real quick, and I'll show you how nice and smooth everything is with this. Now, you got to remember, this is a $20 piece from Harbor Freight. And I could also, you know, this is a long extension. I could shorten this bar up, and maybe you could put a 20-pound saw on here. Now that I got that welded, that was the Achilles heel right here, and I really, you know, the first time I did it, I put some braze on there. Well, I'll braze it up. I put it on there, and cracked right off. Then I welded it a little bit, and it seemed okay. It still broke. So the third time is a charm. You know, I laid it on pretty thick, as much heat as I have, and I just kind of radiused it. Oh. The ball just slipped here. Hang on. Wait a minute. What's going on here with this? There we go. Okay. So she's there. I was pulling on it, and oh, look at that. Hang on. Let me put the phone down, tighten this thing up. She's dancing around here. Well, that's tight now. So, let me just show you how smooth this thing is. And again, you could shorten this distance up. You know, you could put the slot up here, and that would afford you a lot more weight. That's a 440 on here. But now that everything's tight, you know, you can kind of just move it where you want, and it's working. This is the process here that we do. You can stop it here, and she'll hold. You want to work on this? Take off your pull cover, and you want to come over here. You know, work on this side of the saw. You want to play with the air filter, whatever. And for me, I've got this up, I don't know, about 4.5 feet. I mean, everybody is different sizes. You do it where it's comfortable for you. I'm just saying, this is not a bad idea once you get the bugs worked out. You're not gonna, it's not gonna cost you a lot of money, and it'll do what you want. She pretty much stays right there. She's gonna stay there. So it's kind of like balanced because you have this tube and a tube. But there's a little pressure on there that's putting a little drag on it. So you can kind of, actually, you might be able to just get away with not even putting a nut on there. I mean, I'm going to weld one on just to have it on there, but it seems like there's enough where she'll just kind of hold. Hey, I'm happy with it. I mean, for a little bit that I put in, a little bit of time. Oh, I did put this wrap handle. This came in the mail today. There was a little bit of a scratch, but for what I got it for, compared to, you know, the price at the dealer, I'm not complaining. It'll do the job. It'll be functional. So, okay. So I'd have to say that this is a viable idea. Somebody that, you know, wants to go to Home Depot, or excuse me, not Home Depot, but Harbor Freight, buy the ball vise, and that's all I got on here really is just that's welded to that plate, and then you got a tube, and then you got a tube inside of a tube that's welded onto a bar. I mean, you don't have to use a bar. You could just machine something up, and you could actually choke it up even closer if you wanted. But for a little bit of money and a little bit of sweat and tears here, I mean, you know, you got a viable product here. Now, I'm not looking to sell these or make them for anybody. It's just, I'm just showing you something you could do that could, you know, carry you over till you got money to build something killer. Now, if you were to have a pipe and come up and you had an articulated ball vise on the top, well, then you could really get everything you wanted. This, unfortunately, this is what you got to work with for $16.99 at Harbor Freight. Better than nothing, right? Okay, folks, you have a good night.